Rodriguez from MCC on with us this morning. Marissa, good morning to you.
Good morning, Chris.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us for the next 10 minutes or so as we dive into this new initiative at Mason County Central and for the school programs there, and particularly the clubs that maybe not necessarily are on many radars when it comes to fundraising and being able to get different school supplies, uniforms, different things. And you have, six different organizations and clubs that have come together for what is called the Mason County Central Club Cohort, or MCCCC. Take us through a little bit of the foundation there this morning for the listeners and viewers.
Okay, thank you. So we have come together and put together the MCCCC, like you had said. It's a lot of C's, but a
Right.
lot of good work is going to come out of this. So, as you had mentioned, we have six clubs that we are covering. So, we're working with chess, quiz bowl, eSports, game nights, band, and then high school and middle school drama combined.
Okay.
And so this idea was kind of born, I think, last spring from Becky Gearhart. I believe Ludington football does something similar to this. And so we decided that we wanted to create this cohort because we share a lot of students. I
Mm.
can think of a few off the top of my head that are in drama with myself, they're in band, and they're also in esports. We've got some really busy kids. So we recognize that we have a lot of overlap, and we didn't want one student to potentially be doing three different fundraisers at one time. So, the whole purpose of this cohort is to provide robust student activities programming by one, amplifying community awareness. Here we are.
Yep.
Two, unifying fundraising efforts. So, you're not buying nuts from one person and wrapping paper from another person and cookies from a third person. And then we're also going to take advantage of that student overlap.
Now, people are going to ask right away, when I saw the press release that came out or the information that came out, people are going to ask, well, are students still going to, fundraise in the sense, or is it just that the idea of getting the word out is going to, help people be aware of it, and then you're expecting them to contribute? Is it going to be a transitional period, or do you feel that this is strong enough that you'll get those funds, to meet those needs?
I do think this is going to be strong enough to get those funds because instead of going door to door, which can be potentially unsafe, and instead of trying to get the attention of like shoppers, let's say we were stationed at Walmart, people
Mhm.
don't always have cash on them or ways to donate in that moment. So to keep it a bit more, I lost the word, I apologize, to keep it safer from the door to door and then to keep it more concise. That's the word I was looking for. To
Okay.
keep it more concise and together, I think this will be able to work. We'll still be asking, like our grandparents, our parents, but instead of like signing up on a list and ordering something, they will be able to go to a landing page and on a website and donate what they are able to whenever they are able to.
And for the listeners and viewers out there, just like the sports teams and other areas of the school, these clubs and organizations, they have supplies that they need, and uniforms and games and travel expenses and all of that. Do you mind kind of breaking things down a little bit, between the different clubs, and just giving some examples of what fundraising for these clubs look like, or the needs that they would be looking for?
Definitely. So I know that in the past, Quiz Bowl and esports have both done the fundraiser out at Culver's. We work at Culver's for a night, we run orders out to the cars, we get a small percentage of sales from that night, but we get to keep our tips. But When eSports did it last year, we brought in about $125 in tips, that's great. That's really good for tips.
Okay.
And I think we brought in about $500 overall. Sorry, there's a fly in here. I apologize. We brought in about $500 overall from that fundraiser. And Quiz Bowl also did that same fundraiser. But for example, Quiz Bowl needs $1,000 to $2,000 every season for food for the students, transporting to the different tournaments. I just have a friend this morning, sorry.
Yeah, no,
And also to buy the questions that they use in their practice every year. I know that eSports takes about $1,500 a year for food, updating gaming equipment, stuff like that. If we travel to the state tournaments and stuff like that.
do you see that the students will still be involved in community functions and events? I know the safety side of things, obviously, that's probably on the first rung of this initiative. But do you see them still involved in different community events?
Yes. And on top of trying to be present at community events, like I know MCC has their family night. We try to be present at that. We try to be present at things like the football games, just so that our existence is known. We
Yeah.
try to get the word out on the high school Facebook page whenever one of the clubs is doing something amazing. And so we're still trying to bring the community in. E- eSports now has a live stream on their YouTube every week when they have their various matches. So we're a little bit losing that community piece with the door to door, like you mentioned, but we are trying to find other avenues to still stay very involved with the community and still be very public in the community eye.
Yeah. Because as you mentioned early on, and if you're just joining us, we're talking with Marissa Rodriguez, educator there at MCC, and the new initiative, Mason County Central Club Cohort, where you have 6 clubs that have come together. Name those clubs for us one more time, if you don't mind.
We have game nights, chess, quiz bowl, esports, band, and middle school, high school drama.
Okay. And you brought up a very good point, and I don't think we all realize that is that you have a student that is involved in multiple clubs, and that puts a lot of weight on their shoulders, as well as trying to get their education right when it's fundraising and going to practice and traveling and all of that. Do you see that from your standpoint that it can be fairly stressful for those students?
Yes. I personally in high school was involved in probably more than I should have been, but I do see the students, they're working really hard to balance all of these things. The fall is always a bit of a transitional period for students because they've just had the summer where they didn't have to balance nearly as many things. But I've seen a lot of good like choices, I guess, made by students. I have one student who is shared between esports and drama, and they needed to do homework one day and they asked, "Hey, I know that it's my day to be at rehearsal, but can I sit off to the side and work on my homework instead?" And obviously I said yes. I
Mhm.
very much do want them to stay up academically. So we are making sure that they're okay academically, making sure that they're not putting too much onto their plates.
Mhm.
But these children, they are very young and spry, and they are still able to balance a lot of things that I don't think I could do these days.
And you're looking for families and businesses to donate. How is that structured? How do they do that? What's and how are those funds spread around? I think will be my third prong of questions, if you don't mind.
So the way that it would work is people who want to donate or corporations who want to sponsor, we will have a landing page. It will be going live today. Our fundraiser starts today and runs through November 10th.
Okay.
And each student is being tasked with sending out 20 quality emails or messages. So maybe someone doesn't have an email, but they do get messages on their phone. And once the students have their word out, us as coaches and advisors, we're also working to get the word out, working very hard to get a lot of corporate sponsors. We have a handful of corporate sponsors already, and we are very thankful for them. I think we're at about $2,800, $3,200 already,
Great.
and we're going live today.
Yeah.
And then once people are able to go and donate on that page, it will be split evenly between all of the clubs.
Mm. Is there a goal? And maybe there is no goal for the first year, just to see what comes out of this. But what are, I guess, some of the expectations over the next couple weeks?
So we don't really have a goal this first time around. It's our first year. Just wanted to see what we could do. One
Hmm.
of our coaches, Tim Danielson, he had a personal goal of getting some sponsorships in before start date, and he did meet his goal. I think his goal was $2,800, and I do think we're at 3,200. I didn't get a chance to check this morning yet.
Okay.
So that was his personal goal. Our goal is to just experience it
Hmm.
this first year and figure it out. But students are being expected to contact 20 different people that they know in order to get this word out as far as we can.
And when you're talking to the students, do they understand the changes in the efforts, or their own expectations? What's the conversations like been with them?
So they are excited to not have as much pressure on them with this fundraising effort. They were very excited that they don't have to go door to door or talk to a lot of people. We have a lot of shy people in our groups sometimes. Um, we have Zoom meetings with our organizer today, Ryan Anderson, and he's going to further explain the entire process to our students.
Mhm.
So they know what is coming. They don't know all of the nitty gritty details quite yet. They'll get those later today, but they know what's coming. And they, for the most part, seem pretty excited to try and work together and also not have a bunch of fundraisers thrown at them at the same time.
Do you see this taking place multiple times over the course of the school year? Is it just a fall initiative? Your thoughts on that?
I think it's going to be just a fall initiative. I know right now, like chess and quiz bowl, those are actually they happen more during the winter, so they're not necessarily very active right now. So I think we're just aiming to do one for the school year, just a one and done, like, hey, hello, please help us out. We know times are tough. We will not burden you anymore after this.
Yeah, understandable. And for those that are listening and viewing, and we'll make sure we put the link up in the comments section of our Facebook videos and our YouTube. But there's a launch that will happen today. It sounds like, and where will that be for those that are listening and viewing that can see it? The website, Facebook, socials, and such.
Yep. So the Mason County Central Club cohort does have a Facebook page already, and it will be posted there. I believe it was posted last night on the Mason County Central High School page.
Okay.
And then the various clubs where they have their own pages, like eSports has YouTube, it'll probably get put on the YouTube for a while. The various like classroom pages for the other groups.
That sounds good. Anything that we missed talking about? I know it's a new initiative for MCC. It sounds like you've got a great structure in place, and hopefully before November 10th, you'll be able to even share some of share some of the results, or just after that for the community. But what's your message, I guess, this morning to those that are listening and viewing, to encourage them to help out?
We realize that times are tough, but we're still here working really hard for the students. And whether it's a dollar, $5, $10, anything is beneficial and everything goes to the students, which is the whole point in the first place.
Absolutely. And as we mentioned early on in this segment, sometimes some of those groups and organizations kind of get overlooked, and that that can be kind of defeating in itself a little bit. Would you say so?
Yes. Sometimes, because we're smaller or we have a shorter season, it feels like we get forgotten. We're like, "Hi, we're still here."
Absolutely. Well, let's make it happen. It's the Mason County Central Club Cohort launches today. We'll make sure we put those links under both of our Facebook videos that are streaming right now on Mom FM's Facebook page and Hot Country Hits Facebook page, as well as our YouTube channel. We'll make sure we push that out. And for the community, you might be able to donate something, but you want to make sure that you share that information with family and friends because I'm sure they're willing to help. And we have a lot of rural communities within the listening area, and all of them are important. And sometimes we don't understand, right, Marissa? The different clubs and organizations that are, within the hallways there at the school. And like you said at the top of this segment, this is kind of an awareness campaign just as much as it is a fundraiser campaign too.
Yes.
Well, we're glad that you and the team there at MCC are doing this. I know you got to get to class here in a second, but thanks for joining us this morning. And let's check in with you over the course of this period of time between now and November 10th, and see how much we can help with that. We're also going to put it as part of the fridge magnets on both radio stations to encourage listeners, and we'll hopefully see success at the end of the day. Okay.
Yay, thank you so much.
Thank you. It is Mama FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. And if you missed any part of this segment with Marissa, you can check it out at Mama FM and Hot Country Hits Facebook page and our YouTube